These two have a pretty gross record, I'm not going to lie.
I want to say Frozen has the favor.
Yes, he does.
No, yeah, I think this is kind of... It's a rule of thumb for the most part. It's like Swordy beats Yoshi, generally speaking. And Corrin most certainly is a Swordy, and she has not only a sword, but a nice big pin that it makes this matchup quite difficult.
Yeah, Frozen walks around with a pretty nice lance with Corrin, able to outstretch just about all of Yoshi's tools in neutral, outside of like the far hit of the second bear or some variants of egg throw. The point being that a lot of these interactions is going to be dictated by Frozen and how well he's spacing his moves.
Right, and right there, a nice little bit of spacing, catching the approach from Raptor and gets the pin. Right now, Raptor being forced to the outside, but a double jab on the shield is going to get him relieved of that pressure.
All right, a couple of misinputs from Frozen. Give Raptor a moment to bring his percentage back into his favor.
Ooh, nice little nair on the roll-in by Raptor. Tries to catch the approach with the dare. Unsuccessful, though. Frozen holding his ground.
Noticing Raptor try to approach and shield a lot more than he usually does, and I feel like it's just a necessity of this matchup. So many times, Raptor is just in fear of just eating damage.
Right, and you have to consider the risk reward between, Corrin and Yoshi, where it's like, okay, if I shield and come in, the worst thing he can really do to me is grab me, which isn't the worst thing in the world, as you're not at high percents just yet. However, you don't shield and you approach, you might get pinned and just die. So Raptor obviously well aware of that risk reward and taking full advantage of it at the moment. Ooh, but might be forced without his jump at the moment. Ooh, and then back air, the beautiful spacing by Frozen to make sure he caught that landing just in time and got the stock.
I thought that was going to be a grim end to a very early stock for Raptor, but nonetheless, it's just leading to some early pressure from Frozen. He sits at 125 on his first stock, while Raptor has already backed himself off to the ledge. Doesn't really know how to approach onto Frozen right now, but the falling up air giving him a little bit of room to breathe and enough room to space that up there. Up smash.
All right, and the thing is with Raptor is that he is going to opt to try and catch a lot of those landings with the up smash. A phenomenal hitbox all around Yoshi, very similar to Fox's in a lot of ways, just without that first frame of invincibility.
Raptor's trying to move around an awful lot, but as long as he stays out of Frozen's hot zones of pressure, he should be fine, and his eggs do allow him to have a presence from long distance. Unfortunately, because of the Dragon Lunge, Frozen can close that distance very closely.
And this is going to be a huge issue for Raptors, that once he does lose that double jump, once he gets put into the air, it could be incredibly difficult to get back down as a floaty, despite Yoshi's very, very high airspeed. Ooh, double air dodge by Raptor, and he's going to get the reset with the grab, or rather the neutral B.
Going for the egg late, not going to read any of Frozen's options. Frozen opting just to wait patiently for reaction.
Right, and right now Frozen knows he really only has to get like 1 or 2 more hits just to cap off that stock. And right there, that will very likely be it. No, Yoshi is one heavy boy after all. He is a dinosaur. So he's going to be able to continue living even after the back air.
I mean, all these moves are coming from out deep. If Frozen keeps these interactions a little bit closer to the ledge, it's spelling death, and hey, look at that.
Catches the neutral get up with the instant pin, and that will be the end of game number 1 in the favor of Frozen. But definitely a lot closer than maybe one would have expected with their set count being as it is. Raptor definitely kept Frozen, or gave Frozen rather, a run for his money.
Game 2 is bringing itself back to Smashville.
I think, again, Raptor does love this stage.
He does.
So he will almost always go right back to the stage, even if he does lose on it. Oh, nice counter by Frozen. Seeing that down air going to come up, gets a nice little bit of percentage off of it.
Forward or neutral are really paying dividends for Frozen with the pressure game that he's been able to establish here. There's so much quick pressure in the air, and I feel like the way that Frozen's able to ghost Raptor despite Yoshi's excellent air acceleration with those aerials is really what's been putting Raptor's game down in this set.
A whole lot of percent from that combo right there by Raptor. Down air and then just simply waits for the opportunity to get that up air and almost evens up with the percents just after 2 interactions. And the Raptor will take that trade with all the stage control that he now has. However, Corrin does have the ability, not the greatest at necessarily approaching that back air, forces a whole lot of space to be given in right behind her, which is going to give her the ability just to move forward ever so slightly.
As I mentioned earlier, the egg throws give Raptor a bit of an opportunity for him to breathe, but Frozen able to close that distance very quickly and constantly forcing Raptor back into the corner. Opting now for the down throw. Raptor not going to follow up, just a simple jab.
Wait, trying to get that roll read in was Raptor with the down B. Had the right option throwing out, just not quite the right spacing. And Frozen is going to continue to live on this stock, but no longer after that fair to up air.
Raptor taking a bit of a nice lead there, sitting at 103%. We've seen that Raptor's able to make this stock last, but he needs to be careful about how he approaches onto Frozen. He can't really afford to go for trades.
With the landing Nair going to be caught by Raptor. The run back into the jab. Nair into up air, not quite going to connect. And Yoshi continues to live, 133. Now this might not necessarily seem like all that much, but against a character like Corrin that has so much kill potency, it definitely is a big deal.
All right, Frozen gets his Dragon Lunge. That's going to be it for that stock. And with only 27% built, Raptor still has plenty of work to do here if he wants to maintain the momentum that he's built up throughout this game.
Tries to approach the short hop air dodge. However, Frozen at the ready and realizes, okay, just drift back, go to the ledge, and see what I can do to reset the situation. And right now, he's looking pretty good. He's getting 71% in all those trades.
Oh, hold up.
One more?
Hold up.
Waiting for the air dodge. Went a little too high with that jump, so we're not going to be able to get a punish. And right now, this is a dangerous position. All that percentage on Frozen simply means that he has an incredible amount of rage, which, of course, as we all know, I don't think I need to say it, that move is very scary when all that percentage is on.
Corrin can deal some damage with rage. I think it's a bit of an understatement. Being said, I don't know if Frozen's going to have an opportunity to make use of this rage that he has. Raptor doing a phenomenal job of ghosting his movement and forcing his hand as to where he goes because of these egg throws.
Now right there, Frozen not realizing how long he would be able to have that invincibility for. Due to how high his percentage was, he really couldn't hold that ledge for too long. He wasn't in the air for all that long, and Raptor took full advantage with the egg to the spike.
Good work. We're going to game 3. And with Smashville, not really going to be the choice.
Lilat.
You think Lilat?
Lilat Brews.
Incorrect.
I lied. Okay.
Town and City.
To all the good people out there in the stream, my apologies. But right now,
wow, you dummy.
I'm such a dummy.
Dummy head.
I'm such a silly goose.
Get him out of here.
Right now, Frozen taking full advantage of the stage counter pick, using the longer length of the stage and the platforms, lower blast zones. You know, puts a little bit more pressure on Raptor. That pin's going to be killing quite a bit earlier, so.
Once again, it's this aerial pressure from Frozen. We've seen he just has such a big presence between Nair, Fair, and I can say back air's putting in a lot more work than I originally was giving it credit for.
With that perfect shield, however, not going to be able to punish. Yoshi's Fair, definitely one of the harder moves in this game to punish just because of the long range that it has on shield.
You know, despite how vulnerable it looks on Yoshi, it doesn't actually leave him that open to counterattack.
You really have to hit it as it's coming out. Not, you know, can't really shield and punish. One of those moves is just really difficult to do so. However, right now, Corrin looking for that Nair to up air. No dice, though. As Raptor comes back to the ground, Corrin continues to pressure, though.
This time Raptor opting to put a bit of damage in while his victim is in the egg from the egg lay. However, it is going to get him counterattacked and thrown deep off stage, but he is going to come back at 119 and counter.
And at this point, we're seeing the low ceiling and be able to potentially come into effect. That throw, that up throw rather, from Frozen definitely could take it off the top. Being that Raptor and Yoshi's fall speed and gravity relatively low, so definitely a little bit of a slow faller. Forward
throw followed by the egg, does not get the forward air out of it. Raptor still hunting for this kill, and he needs to stay on the hunt. If he gives Frozen any room to breathe, he can take big advantage of the fact that Raptor's sitting at nearly max rage as far as these percentages are concerned. And Raptor does clutch it out.
Nice. A fair into the up air, only at 90%. A nice early stock, as a matter of fact, from Raptor. And now pressure is put on Frozen to take a stock quickly. Up throw will indeed be able to do it, and we have dead even stocks here in game number 3. Perfect shield by Frozen, but does end up moving too far ahead and is unable to get the grab as Raptor gets back to the ground.
Once again, we see Raptor trying to approach with the shield and egg throw. However, this time Frozen punishing for it, opting for a very basic down throw out of it. No true follow-ups, but it does remind Raptor that Frozen does have a grab that he's willing to use outside of kill percentages.
Egg right there. Almost another fair follow-up for Raptor, just barely missing out on it. Raptor gets back to center stage, continues with the egg pressure. Also put himself in the corner. Frozen tries to pressure with the back airs. And right now that pin is going to be huge for Frozen as to getting back into the position where he is holding that center stage. And it does allow him to do so right there and gain a full 75% already onto Raptor.
Both of these players playing very patient right now, making sure to avoid each other's spheres of danger. However, I feel that Frozen is staying a lot more proactive throughout these interactions. He's making sure to change his positioning often. He's making sure that if Raptor does manage to trade into his own favor, that it's not somewhere on the stage where Yoshi would like to be. And he keeps on closing off a lot of routes for Yoshi. Egg throw isn't really giving him a lot of opportunity to take backstage control, and sitting with his back to the ledge isn't exactly where Raptor wants to be, especially while all these percentages continue to climb.
And right now at 189, both these characters definitely in a dangerous spot. The DI out by Raptor just barely going to allow him to live. That that side B, Raptor with the up air into the up smash, and he's going to catch all those landings, and Raptor will take it over Frozen.
When do you ever see Raptor just YOLO up smash like that?
Not often, but on the landing right there, really great. And the reason I think he went for it is just because Frozen, or rather, Corrin doesn't have the greatest mobility in the world. And you see Raptor jump up, or rather, Yoshi jump up with a taunt right after that up smash in celebration of that game number